I can't wait to bring out the panel discussion. We're about to discuss on how can SME survive and thrive in the internet era. All right, we'd like to bring up the moderator, Mr. Song, once again, the COO of PanPages, together with our fellow speakers, Chris, Matt, together with Timothy, to join us on stage for the panel discussion. All right, then. We'll be passing the floor to you, Mr. Song. Take it away.
Mic check, mic check.
So, I don't have to introduce the guest, the speaker anymore, the panel anymore. I think they've done a good job telling you all the good things about Google, about Alibaba, as well as PanPages. Well, I'm going to ask them questions on behalf of the SME here. Some tough questions. Maybe we can ask Mr. Timothy Leong regarding what is going to be the share price of Alibaba when it goes listed. Yeah, so on behalf of the SME, I would like to ask some questions to the panel here. Let's start with Chris. PanPages is the partnering Google and Alibaba. And as an SME, we can go directly to Google to do our advertising, as well as go to Alibaba to start our what do you call it, the internet marketing as well. So what is the role of PanPages in this case?
Well, to make it simple, PanPages' role, like I mentioned earlier on, is to focus on the consumer, which is, in this case, the SMEs. The SMEs are the ones that need this help, regardless of whatever platform.
Yeah.
Right? Handpicked by Google as the premier SME partner, that's not by just chance, it's by quality, definitely. We know what we do best because we have the people to reach out to the SMEs, we have the people with the expertise to do the right job, personally trained by Google himself, right? Yeah. And also Alibaba, now the only partner for Alibaba.com in Malaysia. So what PanPages does is it breaks it down, dial it down for the SMEs. Ultimately, the SMEs need the support, needs the face time. You know, SMEs want IP, IT, one cheap, one fast, right? Want it to be simple. This is what PanPages' role is.
I believe the SME here, they want fast. When they have a problem, they have a question, they will not call Hangzhou for support. They want the Malaysia support.
Yes.
Yeah, that is very true. Matt, I have two questions, related questions. They are related. There are so many people claim that they are Google partners, and some. What's the difference between Google partners and premium Google partners?
Sure. So, is this on? Yeah. So there are many choices for getting started with AdWords, and there are many providers in the market. Premier SME partners are providers who we've selected. It's an invitation-only program. We've selected for their track record of delivering success to SMEs specifically. So while we can't work with everyone, we select, again, proven organizations, and then we invest in their training so they become experts with our products. And we provide them direct support where they need help, they can reach out directly. They're able to call us, we visit, we spend time together. And as a result, our premier SME partners are in a position to provide proven results. We also, in addition to the training, our SME partners, our premier SME partners, have access to a global network of other partners. And I know we've spent time together with your organization. So we can see when something works well for a locksmith in, say, Australia or Italy or in Hong Kong, we're able to share some of those learnings so that they can help a locksmith be more successful in Malaysia. And finally, I think the last difference between a premier SME partner and another provider of AdWords is that our premier SME partners, we work very closely and we're aligned in terms of transparency. We want our advertisers in Malaysia to have a great experience with our products, because that's why they come back and work with us. And our premier SME partners agree to share with their advertisers exactly what they spent on Google and exactly what the results were. And we work together with our premier SME partners to make sure that is happening. And that gives, I think the most important thing is it ensures the advertisers see results and are happy and come back. And so again, that relationship is only with a premier SME partner where we ensure that the advertisers are getting results, that our premier partners have the knowledge, the expertise, and the contractual requirements to ensure that the advertisers have a great experience.
That's remind me about earlier on, we have a sharing with the SME. They say they get reports from PanPages to tell what is their current advertising spending and what is their result. Yeah, so Tim, just now I saw your video, and I can't help to think that these questions always pop up from most of the SME, saying that Alibaba is very China-centric, and they worry that when they put their product online, they cannot compete with the Chinese supplier. Can you comment on that?
Well, I think most of us are here concerned about our international English platform. It may appear to be China-centric first because we started from China and we do have a good quantity of Chinese suppliers on the platform. But if we look at the data of the platform, the Chinese suppliers make up for less than 10% of our members. What does that mean? That means there's more suppliers all over the world on the platform, and that's what the buyers are looking for. We are able to see more of Chinese suppliers because they have a head start of you guys. They have been getting on a platform earlier. They have been on a platform for 10 years, 8 years. And some of you have joined us for the last 1 year or 2 years, or now considering it. So they have a learning curve. They learn better. So what I urge you now is just follow what they have done and gain whatever benefit they have been earning on the platform. You should be able to do that too. As I said earlier in my presentation, we have heard from buyers around the world looking for non-Chinese suppliers. They are product that Malaysia is better. We have seen success stories from our Malaysian members that are doing very well. Someone who cannot take more orders because of capacity issues. You should be able to do the same. What we need to do is what I have just said earlier, be active on the platform, post your product, refresh your content, be creative how to make your product outstanding, and that would help you to gain the benefits you deserve on the platform. Don't worry about the Chinese suppliers or suppliers from all other countries. Do your best. Your product will speak for you, and you're able to get the opportunity that you deserve.
With the appreciations of the renminbi, do you see the trend of sourcing from China shifting to the other part of the world?
The world's changing every day. Yeah. In the news, we have seen coverage about the rise of the RMB that make products from the other part of the world, Malaysia, Vietnam, others are more competitive. Also, there are labor laws in China make it the cost of running business is higher. There are many reasons that you are gaining on the competitiveness on the global environment, and take advantage of it. And I do see a lot of you are having great success, and I hope that will mean for more of you here from Malaysia, and help us, because what I have hearing every day is from our buyer team. We have a team of people serving the buyers. They keep asking me, Tim, can you bring more international suppliers on the platform? Because I have been hampering by the buyers. Want to buy products from other parts of the world. And that's my job. So please help me and gain your business on our platform.
Yeah, that's interesting. Just now when I was having conversation with CK, and he was telling me that, and also Thomas, also from Alibaba, he was telling me that there's more than millions inquiries just coming to Malaysia alone. How do Alibaba actually promote your portal in this case? How do you bring the traffic?
We have many ways to bring traffic to our site. We of course promote our site in different on the whole internet environment, and so that people, no matter where they are, when they do a search, they come to Alibaba.com. And we do offline event. We go to trade shows around the world for you, representing you, so that buyers will come to our website and then see you. So that not every single one of you have to go to the trade shows. We go to the trade shows for you. So we do a lot of other kind of promotion in the different media and work with government around the world so that they will use our platform and promote our platform in their countries. So all this is for one single purpose, is bring the buyer, bring the business potential to our SME members.
But Tim, I don't see any promotions to gain buyers in Malaysia.
Oh, that's, well, first, I'm here today. But secondly, I think traditionally, what we want to put, we also have limited resources. We want to put our money that give you the best result. In the past and even today, the biggest buying countries are like in the States, in Europe. And that's what we have been doing the promotion. Because those are what you care most. Those countries, those buyers are what you care most. So we do a lot more investment in those parts of the world. But then also on the internet, you might see us popping up everywhere.
Yes.
And that's what we're also doing to bring the traffic to you.
So it makes a lot of sense that most of your advertisement or the promotions to draw traffic is not at the Malaysian market because we are seller market. Right. So you are in country like US, UK, to draw the buyers.
Yeah, those are the countries that we put most of our resources to draw the traffic. Speaking
about internet advertisement, one of the questions I would like to ask Matt is that a lot of questions been asked about Google Ads, AdWords in this case. There's so many people putting up advertisement in, Google AdWords. Does the AdWords actually works?
Thanks, Al. That's a good question. Actually, in terms of there being so many ads, we'd like to see a lot more advertisements and businesses promoting themselves on Google. And the reason is, what we care about as Google is we want to delight our users. We want them to have a great experience. And when they come to us, they're looking for something. And we want to have the right answers for them. So the more businesses, the more advertisements we have, the more likely we are to have a relevant ad to show. And by the way, we'll only show an ad when we have something relevant. So when we choose which ad to show on the search results, it's interesting actually. We look at a couple things. There's an auction process where people can bid, but we don't choose the ad necessarily where someone is paying the most.
Yeah. It doesn't work on if I pay more.
It doesn't, because we're concerned if we show ads that are not related or relevant for what the searchers are looking for, then people will ignore them. So we look for the ad that we think is most relevant to what someone is looking for. So if you look at search behavior, people can be really specific what they want. So I'll give you an example. If someone is locked out of their car, I'll stay on the locksmith. If someone is locked out of their car and searching on their phone for a locksmith here in KL, they have a very different need than maybe a landlord who is changing the locks on their building next week. Mm-hmm. Or even maybe when the landlord's handy person, guy, gal, is going to change the locks and they're deciding which lock to buy. These are all three different users with different needs. And we want to have the right ad to go with each of those cases. And so the more ads we have, the more relevant our results can be, the happier the users are, and the more customers we can deliver to you.
So the more relevant the search is, and the customers that really you draw the traffics to the website all relevance visits. In other words.
Yeah, exactly. And then
Okay.
making
Makes
sure
sense.
that search is easy to find so we can support our advertisers. So whether it's searching on an Android phone or searching on YouTube, making sure that Google's there and easily accessible.
Yeah.
And I think the best way to answer your question, rather than listen to me, say that AdWords works, I think the best thing are to ask. And I really enjoyed listening to the success stories you had today for Alibaba, for Google, for PanPages, because that's who you should be asking. There's more than 1 million businesses around the world using AdWords, and they come back and they use it again and again, and it's
So
because it works. So.
I guess it works, then more people are advertising.
Come to the PanPages website, come to the Google, you can read case studies, talk to fellow business owners. I think that's the best way to get a sense of what works. And if you have trouble finding examples, feel free to reach out to me, and we'll find a good example for you.
But Google draw traffic, and the traffic has to go somewhere. And if I listen to Chris' presentation just now, you mentioned that the website is very critical. If I'm an SME and if I already have a website, does it make sense to have another one?
Of course. The idea behind is a better strategy to have more than one web presence. Touching and conversing with different sort of audience. It can be an example like if you're doing clothing, you have already a website. It's very general, right? So people by searching generally, sometimes you pop up, sometimes you don't. You promote it through some tools, sometimes you get the advantage. But the idea is behind like this. You have more than one web presence, custom your conversation with different sort of people. So let's say female line, younger female are your target. You have sites that is very pinkish, designed very female style. On the other hand, a male clothing line, masculine type of website, masculine type of messages, right? And the ultimate idea behind is, we call this A/B testing. You have to start and to understand the audience. So you start in multiple web presence, you test it out. It's like all your websites are competing against each other, right? Ultimately, who wins? Who gets you the most sale or traffic? You win.
Yours.
Still yours.
Yes, yeah.
You still win.
This reminds me of a story, not really story, a sharing from one of the customer, not in this session, but previous sessions. He mentions to me that he had many websites, and one website is for one brand, the other website for another brand. His idea is that, if I have one brand and one website, it appears to be more professional. Does it also similar concept as what you mentioned?
That's exactly. And the best part is you get to study more sort of data, how people are landing to your page, how people is behaving, how they are reacting to the particular content that you build. There's no, say, that lose factor, because the cost is not like you really investing into a big shop, a physical shop and all. It's by exploring your options, giving more parts to letting people discover you. That is the sole purpose first.
But
and then
cost, let me stop you there. But cost is one issue for SME. I think SME just now when they come for sharing, they mentioned about one of the issue where they defer their journey into internet marketing is about cost. Would it be very costly? If with a limited budget, can I do all these things, internet marketing?
Well, honestly speaking, if you really want to start, I think some of the panel SMEs already shared, it can be free of charge. Free. If you have the time, if you have the resources, it's free. You can start your own Facebook fan page to start your own blog, right? Buy certain cheap templates and start a simple website. You can. But the idea behind for SMEs is like this. SMEs are great when it comes to their own field. You're very focused on building your business. When it comes to internet marketing, building content, distributing, promoting, might not be that forte. You might not have that kind of resources or time just to focus on that. So what you want to do is you just want it to be simple. Source it out, get someone to do it. For PanPages, we've been helping SMEs for many years. And now with the internet platform being so competitive, it's so simple to have like what we call a starter kit. Having a basic few web presence to Facebook, to PanPages, to instant website with your own domain, to Alibaba, free member, with as low as 4 ringgit per day. It can be like 3 roti canais per day.
Well, if you add the low, 2 roti canai only.
Yeah, okay, 2 roti canais per day.
So may I cut in here a little bit? Yes, we SMEs, actually, whatever business, we always want to be cost conscious. If we can do something with 100 ringgit, why spend 200, right?
Yeah.
We have to be cost conscious. But more importantly, what we are talking about, how doing our business on internet, those are investment. It's not cost.
Exactly.
We put in some investment, we hope to get return out of it, not throwing it away. So I'm not saying that we should like put in all of our fortune into it. That's not what I'm saying. Yes, you have to look at what you want and then invest and get the return out of it. At different part of your growth as your business, you want to invest a different amount. But this is not money you throw away. This is investment you want to put in and make more money out of it. Mm-hmm. So we have been working with PanPages for 5 years now. They are the expert. Talk to them how to spread the investment, where to put, and gain the most return that you should get.
Talking about investment, just now, SME who came out for sharing, he mentioned about traditional media and the where he invests about 30,000 every month. In the traditional media, normally the big guys win. Meaning is that the more spending that you have, what do you call that? You tend to get more exposure. That is the traditional market. But in the internet, if I'm an SME and I have a very limited budget, in this case, Matt, I want to ask you, if I have, let's say, for example, I have 2,000 ringgit and I can only invest 2,000, do I stand a chance to fight with these big guys?
Sure. So AdWords works for businesses of all sizes. And whether you're here in the Kampung or you're trying to reach the rest of the world, whether you're big or small, AdWords can be very effective. But it's a fair question in terms of how, and I think Tim has some really good points about how can you make sure, we want you to be found, but we want you to be found when it's profitable.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things you can do to make sure that you're running your AdWords campaigns in ways that are profitable. And part of why we created our premier SME partner program was to work directly with selected partners who understood how to get the most out of a small or medium budget. So a lot of things you can do, for example, I'll give you an example. Some of our customers, they want with AdWords, they want phone calls to their business. Yeah. And if that's your goal, well, PanPages can help you so your ads only display while your business is open.
So you only pay for the result?
You only pay for the results, and no one's clicking and calling your business when you're not available to answer.
So you don't have to pay?
You don't pay.
Okay.
Same with geography. We have many, many customers here in Malaysia that maybe they have a service business, and there's a service area, part of Penang. Maybe they only want to serve the Penang area, the washing machine repairman. Maybe they don't want their ad showing in JB. Maybe they don't want their ad showing in Singapore. So PanPages, they understand AdWords, and we work closely that they can show your ads only in the relevant geographies.
So you can be very geographical targeting, yeah?
Exactly. And then keyword strategies. For example, if you go out and you bid and you're a plumber and you bid on 24-hour plumber, that could be quite expensive, maybe not profitable for you. But if you're bidding on leaky faucet, perhaps that's lower. And PanPages is quite sharp, plus we share a lot of data and training for how to profitably deliver new customers. And I think Timothy had a great point, which is often people ask me and they say, 2,000 ringgits, I only have a medium budget, I have a small budget, will it work? And I think when we can turn the conversation around and say, well, what are you looking for? How many more phone calls do you need? How many new customers? What is the return that we could deliver to you for that 2,000 ringgit? So less thought on the budget and more about kind of what you need out of that 2,000 ringgit. And you can have that discussion with the PanPages team and challenge them to show you the results. And how Google's grown so large is by delivering those results. And then what happens is our customers, our advertisers, and AdWords users come back to us and say, boy, that was great. Last year I spent 2,000 ringgit a month and I got 7 new customers a week, which was very profitable. What happens if I spent 4,000? And that's how the business has grown. So really any budget will work with AdWords.
Yeah, besides the spending, another big concern from the SME is about fraud. This question I would like to direct to Tim. The biggest concern e-commerce is about fraud. How Alibaba address this issue?
It's very interesting. People sometimes look at things differently when do with it online and when they do with it offline. Actually, they're the same. We in Alibaba, we invest in our technology to reduce whatever illegal or fraudulent activities on our platform. So we use our technology to try to screen out the scammers on the website so that we take away suppliers who are fraudulent. Even if someone who gave us money via pay members, we will take them off our platform if we suspect there are fraudulent activities. That's what we do. But it's like when you open a shop or you open your business here in KL or any part of the world, you have customers coming in your shops and your business every day. How do you do with it? We urge you to follow those careful practices that you built in the past years. Those are still the best defense that you have. We on the platform try to match buyers and suppliers together. We try to bring you the best buyers who have good interest in your product. But you are the one who is doing the business. You do your due diligence. When a buyer wants to buy $1 million of products from you, maybe you want to start with a smaller order. Do background checking. Because we, on the platform, no matter how much you invest in the technology, it's not 100% foolproof. But you want foolproof. You are the one with the last defense. You are the one who could do better than us. And if you have something that you smell fishy or you have some unhappy experience, tell us. We'll do it on our platform too. As the platform operator, we bear the responsibility to make it the best we could. And we do invest in a lot in technology. We also invest a lot in human power to solve the issues. And we do work with local authorities all over the world when they are suspected of fraudulent cases. And we work with them so that we can catch the bad guys or try to recover whatever you lose something, we will try to help you to recover what you lost. But I urge you, the best defense is what you do, like what you have been doing in the past years. Do the due diligence, check background, use LC if you're doing cross-border trade. All these measures still work best for you. And that's what we should do together to minimize whatever fraudulence on the platform. After we have done all this in Alibaba, we are proud to say that we are one of the portals on the internet that has the minimal fraudulent cases on the platform.
I guess internet intensify everything, so you tend to hear more about this. Yeah.
You tend to hear more about it, and also the quantity is better. In the past, you may have like two inquiries per month. Now you have 200. So everything kind of grows 10 times.
Yeah, great. So a glimpse into the future, Matt. We hear so much about Google AdWords, and besides Google AdWords, what else can what are the products that Google has that can help the SMEs to market the products?
So Google is a very SME-centric company. I think it was 99% of our customers are SMEs. So yeah, we have lots of, I think AdWords, as you mentioned, is by far proven, is perhaps arguably one of the best, if not the best solution ever built for SMEs to promote their business. What else? Google Maps is a terrific tool. If what you want are people walk-in traffic, Google Maps is a really easy way for people to find your business and get directions. And some of the kinds of things PanPages can share with you is, where are the people who are asking for directions to your business coming from? So maybe that will help you in thinking about where you want to open a new location or where you want to market. So Google Maps is terrific. We talked a little bit about YouTube today. Again, if you're passionate about your business, your customers will be interested in buying from you. And YouTube is a great place to show your passion. And like Chris said, if some people prefer to watch versus read, so we're seeing a lot of SMEs really use YouTube to share what their business is about and to get people excited to visit their business. Also at Google, we sometimes we build too many of our, we build our own, we like to use our own products, and something our founders, Larry Page and Sarah Gabrin, were not very happy with at the time were the tools that businesses had for email and scheduling meetings. So we built our own internal tools that turned out to be quite good. And SMEs can use the same tools that we use to run our own business within Google in terms of Google Apps. And that means Gmail, but pointing to your business, and Google Docs, and all the tools that we use to run our own business are available to SMEs at a very low monthly price, and I assume available through PanPages as well. You can help connect them. So I think those are the big ones, probably Google Apps for productivity, YouTube for kind of sharing what the business is passionate about, Google Maps for making sure that you're found whenever anyone's looking, and AdWords by far the best. So as people are searching for your business, you can find new customers.
Last question. This question I would like to direct to Chris. In your presentations, you mentioned many times start now, but I think being Malaysian, we have been dealing with SME so long, and most of the SME apply the strategy of wait and see.
Tunggu dulu.
We want to see whether our competitors are doing it. If they are doing it, I also want to do it. But if nobody's doing it, I don't want to be the guinea pig. Do you think this is the right thinking, or this is the right strategy?
Well, then you've never participated in the entire event if you still ask that kind of question, to be frank. Let me break it down more layman term. It's like Mat Saleh going into a new kampong, right? He doesn't know his whereabouts, he doesn't know where to go, whether Mat Cik Joe is selling nasi lemak. He does not know how to maneuver around the sampan or the little daihatsu cars around the kampong. So you need time to get to know the place, which is the internet, right? It's like a big wave, like what Mr. Fong Wai Leong said early in the morning. So you need that kind of time to explore. That's one. Second thing is you also need time to build the trust, to build the audience, and to have the conversation with each and every one of them, and converting the conversation to business talks, to inquiries, to the sale, to your collection, to your big banks, like Mr. CK say now got what, 8 figure, 9 figure, I don't know how many figure, so many zeros I forgot already, right? That's ultimate the plan. If you're not there, someone else will be. Maybe not from Malaysia, other countries, very fast, borderless now. The kampong has been, the pagar has already been broken. So you either be there, or someone else will replace you.
So internet is not just one step that you have to take, but it's rather the journey that you have to take.
Yes.
So the earlier you start,
like what Tim said just now, Alibaba.com appears to be very China-centric. It's just because it started from China and they developed it, you develop so many product range. Malaysians started maximum, 4 years, 5 years, maximum, right? The earliest adopters of Alibaba.com. You'll be losing the race. People are at the cutting edge.
Okay, good. That's my last questions. Now I would like to open the questions to the floor. Is there any questions from the SME? Yeah, this gentleman has a question. Can we hand him a mic?
Hi, thank you again. My name is Edwin. I would like to address this question to Mr. Matt and also Song.
Yeah.
Regarding the Google AdWords, are we paying higher for the SME premium or just same price, the Google AdWords?
So you understand the question? Probably Matt, you can answer that.
So there are many providers of AdWords in Malaysia, and you're going to see different prices. And again, I encourage you to focus on the results that you're getting. So do you pay more? There's not a fixed price for Google. Each provider can set their prices differently. What I like a lot about PanPages pricing is that they offer monthly packages that include fees for them to manage your AdWords campaign, plus media on Google. And from my experience, the results that you get is really the key factor. So what is the ROI that you're getting when you buy from PanPages versus, say, doing it yourself or using a large agency or all of the different options that are out there? So I can't give you a direct answer in terms of are you paying more or not, because you'll see different prices from different providers. But with the Premier SME partners, what you can know is how much of what I'm spending with you each month is going to Google and how much is PanPages keeping. So that's the transparency requirement, and we want our partners to be profitable so they can provide great service to you. And we want you as advertisers to know how your money is being spent. And that transparency requirement is only with our Premier SME partners.
Just to add,
Yeah,
Matt,
please.
for PanPages, because we considered one of the better ones to do the AdWords for SMEs, the idea and the skill behind will save you a lot of money. Because AdWords is by bidding, right? You bid the particular keywords against your other competitors who's bidding the same keywords, right? So if you do it correctly, you can save a lot of money by bidding it correctly, right? No better person in Malaysia. I think we're still number one. We just got the award 2013 Emerging Partner, right?
That's where I spent my day.
Yeah, right? Not to brag, but it's true. So we, ultimately, it's not about that so-called whatever fee or whatever fee the PanPages. We earn it from our skill. What we save for the SMEs. That's where we earn. Yeah. The better we save for SME, the more we earn. It's fair deal.
Ultimately, I think the SME will be the judge in this case, whether they're paying value for money or not. Is there any questions? Any more questions? Yeah, Edwin, you have another question? Or somebody else have a question? They stopped you already.
It's okay.
Thank you for the question. Thank you for the answer. So the subsequent question is for Matt. So does Google publish all the comparison between all the Google AdWords service provider, the ROI return or their conversion rate? Does Google publish that?
The question is
you got my question?
I think I understand, and I'm not aware, to my colleagues, of any kind of where we publish the results from different providers.
Yeah, I think that would be a great comparison for users like us, right? We can know which service provider do the best and give the best result for all the SME about the conversion rate. That is important. I think Google got this data.
Google know everything. Google know everything.
Google know everything.
Who will win the next election? Probably you also know.
It's a great suggestion. We'd have to think a lot about what are the different factors, because conversion rates to new customers, it sometimes depends. I'll give you a good example. You can have great ads in the right place, and people click. And if your website, how many times have you gone to a company's website and it doesn't look right on your phone? And you're like scrolling around. It's so frustrating for me. So, for example, if you're using the PanPages, your web technology is dynamic, meaning when you create the instant website, it looks right on the phone.
And it's real-time update. Yeah. A lot of websites out there are not updated, especially in Malaysia. Really, we have people sharing that they last updated their website 3 years ago, when some young guy after college came and offered 1,000 ringgit to build a website. So you gave him all your brochures, everything. He built it, you don't even know it exists inside. But someone else searching, that's counter-branding, you get what I mean? But yes, it differs, so it's
so I guess...
It's a great point, though, and I'd be glad to take it back. I'll tell you one thing we do is we want great ads that are relevant. And so we reward the organization creating the ads with lower prices for more relevant ads. So the more results PanPages or any provider can deliver, the better the pricing they get from us. Your idea is, well, at Google, we like transparency. We want people to know. But one of the ways that a provider can make more money is by delivering better results, because then everyone's happy. So the system has lots of carrots and sticks to reward people for creating relevant advertising that works.
So, yeah, there's a question from the gentleman there. Can we get a mic?
There's another one there.
Hi. Christopher, you mentioned a lot about our website. I heard over the radio there was this discussion that .com, the website, is no longer a trend right now, whereas because you have social media. And a lot of companies don't actually need website because you have social media, and if you have Facebook, it's good enough because people don't actually go to your website because people don't actually click www.something.com. That's the question for you. And question for Matthew is that does Google has a competitor, and if you have, and how do you actually tackle to this competition?
So typical SME ask for one question, there's two there. So first question to be answered.
Double layer. So the first question is
the
people
SMEs, nowadays people...
The trend.
The trend is not so much on the
.com on the
yes.
website. You can have your fan page as your online web presence. You see, in Asia, especially in Asia, there's this sense of belonging. When you want to build something, like a house in the internet world, somehow you just want to have your name there, your own domain, something that you own, that you renew, right? So you can have a basic web presence through a blogspot or a blog. It works as well. But having your own website represents that you are ready, you are here to stay. You are friendly and you know how it works. But ultimately, it's, like I said earlier on, is putting your eggs into multiple baskets. Having more than one web presence. Not only relying on just one social page that you have. Because different audience are searching differently, behaving differently. So what you want to do is, you duplicate and you clone yourself, like what Mr. Fong Wai Leong said in the morning. You clone yourself, like how Matrix, Mr. Smith cloned himself in the internet. Then you get that part of the potential of being discovered by different sort of users, different sort of behavior, different sort of experience. That is the gist of it. And for...
Second question, Director Matt.
Competitors. So I think, I had my own business for many years before I came to Google, and having competitors is a healthy thing, right? If you're all alone, it's probably not a very good idea. So we live in a very competitive world. I think what we're most surprised about at Google is the amount of spend. I put a slide up earlier where consumers in Malaysia are spending their time between television, traditional media versus digital. And I think all of us, I'm amazed at how much we still see businesses in Malaysia spend going to media where people are shifting away. So whether, again, that's television or newspapers or print, I'd probably say that's an area where we'd expect to see more change faster than we have.
Okay, so we have time for only one more question. Yeah, the gentleman there.
Thank you. I'm James Steele. Out of curiosity, the name Alibaba had been used in Malaysia for many, many years ago. It's a very popular word that we use here. So out of this curiosity, we'd like to ask maybe Timothy, how this Alibaba brand been selected or chosen to be Alibaba.com? Thank you.
Actually, to be more precise, there's a song, Alibaba. Alibaba, Alibaba, na 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 na. You never heard of that song?
Yeah. Okay, Tim.
Yeah, on the lighter side, yes, the company name was chosen 15 years ago, and when we say 15 years ago, I'm being very precise. 15 years ago today, Alibaba was formed.
Oh.
So today is our 15th anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
So we're having celebration in our Hong Kong office, but our team chose to work here. The name was chosen by our founder, and at that time he tried to build a company and very wisely asked the question is he wanted a brand name that is easy to remember, easy to pronounce. It will pronounce the same way in all the language in the world. So in Chinese it's Alibaba, in English it's Alibaba. In whatever language it's always Alibaba, so we don't have to translate it. Yeah. And it works well. And of course, behind the scene we have the story of Alibaba, not about the thief, but about the treasures. So in the early days, we have our own event. We always call that Open Sesame event. So we open the door for the treasures for our members. And we believe we're still doing that today.
There's a China site called 1688. 1688 is Alibaba or 1688.
That is the Chinese domestic site.
Yes.
So it's all in Chinese language. It's about the Chinese domestic trade. Of course, 1688 in Chinese, it means good luck. And that also our stock number when we were listed in Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Okay. Of course, we have another IPO story coming up.
Anybody want to know the price of the IPO when Alibaba listed? Oh, quiet. I think they're waiting for the lucky draw. Well, we close these sections. Thank you very much, Matt and Timothy. So thank you for sharing. So, yeah, and Chris.
Thank you so much for your invaluable info, dear panelists.
Thank you.
I would like to take this opportunity to invite Mr. Song to once again present the token of appreciation to all our panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big round of applause. They have given us a lot of information and definitely help you a lot, I believe, in helping you, giving you a great solution in your business. Thank you so much.